Hello， 大家好，我是健身小柯。那我们又见面了啊！我们这一期视频呢，是我们高级阶段的动作。我们经过前2期视频的一个进阶，如果你觉得现在够牛逼了，那我们可以进阶到第3个阶段了。那这个阶段呢，我们会在原来的基础上继续给你增加难度，肯定能满足你的挑战欲望。接下来内容还是让曲棒给大家去解说一下。Go ahead.
All right. So we've gone through the beginner, we've gone through the intermediate, and now we're at the advanced. One thing that should be noted before you go to advanced, make sure you have followed through, done the beginner, done the required sets and reps that is needed to move to the intermediate, and then met the requirement for the sets and reps at the intermediate to go to the advanced. Now, when doing the advanced, some of the modifications may seem small. That does not mean that they're not important. So make sure that you pay attention, and even if it seems minor, the point is focusing on the minor changes to get a major output. If you make these minor adjustments, you will get a lot more out of it. And if it doesn't feel like it's challenging you, that means that you're probably not doing it right. So we started with the bird dog, which is going to be what we're going to start with now. So Keihan is going to go to the bird dog, and we're going to do another modification to make this a little bit harder. So from the bird dog, Keihan is going to again attach everything. Lats tight, triceps tight, cores tight, boom, boom. Knees are under, everything is tight. After everything's tight, we know that he's going to be tight because if I push him, he should be still. Good, that means everything's tight, abdominal wall is there. So Keihan, go ahead and do me a favor. I want you to kick the left leg out and the right arm out. Slow, don't move the body. Chest stays still. Straighten that leg out, flex that glute. Here, it's a little bit lower. Good, a little bit lower right there. Flex that glute and keep this here. Now, on the last one, we brought the knee forward. We're gonna do something similar. We're just gonna add one minor thing to it. So Keihan, I want you to squeeze this glute on this side, squeeze it. No, don't turn it yet. And then bring the leg out. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, right there. Now bend the knee and keep it up high. Turn, bend the knee. Bend, 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 high, 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 forward, keep it high, keep it high, keep it high. Keep that arm out. And hold, and go ahead and bring it back. And kick and flex that glute. Flex, 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 flex. Good. And relax. So, the point of that is when we get the full extension of pushing the leg back, now we're gonna have the flex of the glute medius. Now we're gonna, the glute maximus, I'm sorry. And then the outer movement brings the glute medius in. So when we start turning over that hip, we're gonna really tax the outer portion of that while having the balance pulling in our abdominal wall. So we're really taking that hip dynamic into effect while engaging our abdominal wall, working our core strength to get more tension and more support. All right, so we've gone through modification, the advanced modification for exercise number 1. Now we're going to go through the advanced modification for exercise number 2. We went with the crawl, and what do? We added weights to the crawl. So now we're gonna make this just a little bit harder. So instead of adding weights now, we're gonna add a band with the weight. So I'm gonna grab a band and I'll be right back. So now that we have the band, Keihan is gonna place that band right above his knees. Perfect, good. Now that we have the band right above the knees, we're gonna go into our position. Remember bird dog position so that we can start our quadruped crawl. I'll grab the weight to get us set up. There we go. So the only difference between this one and the last one is Kayhan is going to take his knees out about an inch. So go to my hand, right there, perfect. Other one, right there, perfect. And he's going to keep that, okay? So remember, feet to be right there, good. So now that we're in that position, and the reason why we're doing that, we're taking those knees out just a little bit to put more tension on this band, and the tension on the band is going to activate that glute. So it's going to give it a little bit more tightness, give it a lot more demand around that hip so that we can tie in that core a lot more and get more tax throughout this movement. Again, if you want to move to the advanced movements, make sure that you follow the progressions. You've moved from the beginner through the intermediate. You've done both of them properly. You've had great activation. You've been able to complete the amount of sets and reps, and you are properly ready for the advanced movement. Now, from here, we're going to take this plate. I'm going to go ahead and place that on the back. Make sure you balance that for me, Kayhan. You got it. Everything's tight. Elbows are in. We're cinched. Go ahead and take the knees off the ground. Good. Now that Kayhan's in proper position, he's going to start making his movement forward. Go ahead and make small adjustments. Very, very little. Good. 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 So the band is going to resist his forward movement while attacking those glutes. Moving forward with the band is going to be a lot more difficult because the knees are taking resistance. So it makes you have to brace in with that core a lot to help the hips rather than the hips helping the core. The level of activation on that is very high. If you have not done it, I can't stress this enough. If you've not gone through the intermediate and the beginner, don't jump to the advanced. It may look entertaining. It's not. It's not entertaining. It's a workout. It's made to be difficult because it's advanced. It's made to challenge you. It's made to push you to your limits, but to also take you to the next level, which I'm assuming that's what everybody here wants. We all want to get better. We all want to see improvements, not only in our performance, but in our bodies. We want to look good, feel good, and live great. To do that, it takes proper steps and progressions. So make sure that you've done these progressions before you jump to something like an advanced movement. Hello, and welcome. Now we are back. We're gonna go to our third exercise. We're gonna do our advanced modification. As we say every time, if you're gonna make it to the advanced, make sure you've taken care of the beginner and the intermediate. You spent the registered amount of time for it. You've done the amount of sets and reps required to make your next progression to the advanced. And even the intermediate. Make sure you've done the beginner before you've gone to that. Our third exercise that we did was the dead bug movement. So we're gonna go ahead and have Kayhan hop down. He's gonna be in the supine position. There we go. Good. So now the small of the back needs to be into the floor. Make sure the abs, arms up, arms up. There we go, keep those arms up. Small of the back, this part into the floor, there we go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start and we're gonna kick this side out. So this side and this arm are gonna go out, this stays. This doesn't move, good. Right there, and hold. Hold, no, don't go any further. Bring it up a little bit, right there. This stays tight, okay? Don't move that. So we're gonna then start rotating the arm and the leg out. So rotate this out, good, and out, 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 out. Right there, and hold. Keep this in right here. Keep this into the ground. And take this out a little bit more. Perfect. So we're externally rotating the leg and the arm. Then we're gonna bring this arm back, bring the leg in. Arms back, good. All the way. Now forward. And we are good. So what we did, take a break. What we did in addition to the last one is we added the arm going out. Remember, the cross-directional is pulling while we have to try to maintain tension. Once we start to go out, we lose that line of connection because now we're going away from our center line. Once we go away, it becomes much harder for us to control from a further position. So as we start opening up, that core, that abdominal wall, pushing the lower back into the floor becomes a lot more challenging, which makes this movement our advanced version of the dead bug. I think Kayhan's feeling it a little bit. All right, guys, we're back for the fourth exercise in our advanced modification. As we say before every single exercise, if you want to be advanced, you need to go from beginner to intermediate and then go to advanced. So we're going to go to our fourth exercise, which will be our toe presses. So you're going to lay down, set up in the dead bug position again. All right, now that we're in the dead bug position, I'm gonna have Kayhan, make sure you push small of your back into the floor. Good, good. Now the arms go forward, remember? Go down, don't touch the ground. Right there, keep that tight. Keep that tight. Bring the feet together. There we go. Point the toes out. Other way, this way. Good. Okay, now that everything's tight, go ahead and kick towards my hands. Look at my hands with your eyes. Look at my hands. Kick towards my hands. Towards, up a little bit, up, 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 up. Open. Good, a little bit lower, right there. And close, and open. Come on, and close, and bring it back. Good, and relax. How do you feel, Kayhan? So, here's the key. When we are focusing on developing abdominal wall tension, the difficulty is gonna come in being able to brace while still allowing movement. We're tight and we're still allowing this dynamic of movement. Once we get to this position, because we're past the intermediate, the toe goes into what we call plantar flexion. Pointing the toe, which is plantar flexion. This is dorsiflexion, this is plantar flexion. So now we're here with both feet, and once we're extended and we have this still into the ground and our hands are here, we're going to externally rotate. As we do that, it's much easier for our core to hold something that's right in front of it than on the side of it. So now we're grabbing in with everything, and it's going to create a really deep burn. The idea, get 2 to 3 reps out and then bring it back. And that's 1 rep. Push, 1, 2, 3, back. That is 1 rep. This is why it's advanced. It's gonna really, really tax you. It's very, very dynamic, and it's a couple movements, so there's gonna be a lot more time in this movement for each rep. So when you're going through it, it may take you a little bit longer. It's gonna be a lot more challenging, so it's gonna take you more time for your body to adjust to it and for you to get good at it, which is okay. It is okay. That means you have more time to develop more strength, so that way you have better support and your movements become a lot better, just as you will. All right, guys, here we are. We're at the 5th exercise for the advanced movement. So you remember what we were doing? We were doing the anti-rotational hold. And we went from the inner arm to the outer arm. So what we're gonna do with this one is we're gonna go right back to the outer arm, but now we're gonna add an inward movement to draw our lats in, and then a press out to maintain the shoulder stability, which is gonna reinforce our serratus and our obliques. So, Same thing, we're gonna step out. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. We're gonna grab here. As we said before, this hand is a guide. It's okay to touch and follow, but if you find yourself pushing, you're probably not ready for that, so you should scoot in, get it into position, then step out. So, this hand goes here, we're gonna go here, we're pulling, 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 pulling. We're in a quarter squat, pulling. I'm gonna step out a little bit to make this a little bit harder. Right when I'm here, the core is tight, I'm gonna pull this in. As I pull in, I'm squeezing my back. So now that my lat is fully loaded, this lat is fully loaded, I'm gonna now push it out with the lat loaded, and now this really engages. So I'm here is tight, and then I'm gonna slowly take it back and squeeze through that engagement. You're gonna find this movement, it may look easy. It is hard. It is not simple. It is simple, but it's not easy. And we want upper level difficulty. I'm gonna have you scoot in just a little bit. Here we go. Straighten the arm down. There we go. So go ahead and come over. Keep going, over, 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 over. More, more, more right there. Step out now. Step, one more step. Good, okay, so now I want you to pull it in straight with the lat tight, 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 good. Now, when you push it forward, keep that lat tight. Go ahead, keep the lat tight. Good, move the hand, this one. Good, keep that tight. Tight in here, there we go. And slowly bring that over. Good, and relax. How'd that feel?
Feel tough.
So, focal points in that. Again, when we pull, it's from the far position, not the inner arm, the outer arm. And then just so that we don't forget, I think everybody knows this, but just in case, we always do both sides. We're showing you the examples, but on this one, because you're doing one arm first, make sure you do the other arm second. Don't leave it out. Both sides need to be worked for this exercise. So, grab from the far position. If it's too hard, get in here. We're gonna bring it out and then step out. Then we take from this position and we pull in to flex and engage our lat. So when we push forward, we keep that back tight. The shoulder is still engaged. So that way we're really gonna activate our serratus and our obliques to tie in to our abdominal, our rectus abdominis, which are those six-pack muscles. So when you see the little lines gripping down the sides from here, we want those to tie in. That's what we're really focusing on here. And that's how we're gonna engage them, by drawing the lats. Because our serratus, these little muscles in here, they tie in. This is our serratus anterior. Well, they tie into your posterior. So if we can get the lats active, it's easier to draw that connection to make those really grip, which is why we pull and then we push out. How'd that feel, Kehan?
Feel good?
Perfect.
好，刚刚进行了我们5个高级阶段的动作，真的是非常非常困难。这个如果你在现场的话，你会看到我浑身已经颤动不行了，已经。这个确实非常有难度，非常建议你啊，就是从最开始我们的新手阶段开始入手，慢慢的到中级，然后最后再到我们高级阶段。还是那句话，一定要保证每一个动作，然后每一次要做到位，因为我们讲究的不是速度，我们想要最少的次数，让它获得最好的一个训练效果。然后还是让水棒来给我们做个总结，说一下我们这5个动作里面的注意要点。It's your turn.
All right, so we went through our 5 advanced modifications. I can't say it enough. If you are seeing this and you've gotten the videos and you're looking at all the stuff and you want to see what we're doing and you're kind of skipping ahead just to see what we're doing, that's totally okay. But make sure you don't start at the end. Start at the beginning, beginner, intermediate, then advanced. Take your time. There is no rush. We're going to give you more content, but we're going to make sure that in giving you content that everything is done in the right way, with the right progressions, to make sure that you get stronger, you look better, you feel better, but you also don't hurt yourself on the way. So it's very important that you guys follow the steps and not leave anything behind. Don't leave anything out. Do every single exercise from each level and make sure that you're following the reps, the sets, and the progressions. When doing these advanced movements, because they are advanced and they're a lot more demanding and they have a lot of dynamic to them, for most of them you only need 3 to 4 reps, but you might do 4 to 5 sets. 3 to 4 reps at 4 to 5 sets. You don't need a lot of reps. These are advanced movements. These are focus movements. So not only are they more challenging, but they're slowed down to make sure that you're getting more activation throughout the movement. So a lot of reps is not going to be necessary, and it probably won't be possible for you. It's going to be really tough. But the things that challenge you are the things that are going to build you up. So once you get to this stage, we want to congratulate you, tell you good job. We appreciate you following. We appreciate that you've done everything to get there. And now make sure that you follow through and that you finish it strong so you can make it to the next level, go through the next videos and get everything out of them.